Hello everyone, welcome to Just Academy. In this tutorial, I'm going to talk about the PXR Environment Daylight, which is the physical sun and sky light model that is available in Renderman. So in order to create it, we have to go to the Renderman shelf tools, and you can see here in this little button, if I right click on top of this, you can see here we can create the PXR Environment Daylight. So once I create it, we are getting the Environment Daylight in the outliner, and if I go to the perspective, and if I look at this, so let's scale this. So it creates this locator to our scene, and so let's launch the render to see what it gives us. So yeah, so this is what we are getting directly. So if I look at the attributes of this PXR Environment Daylight, so these are pretty much same like any other lights in Renderman, but we have this little option that is responsible for just for the PXR Environment Daylight. So you can see here we have the direction, haziness, and all the other stuffs. So usually this will help us to get the proper lighting of particular timings, like if you want to create a morning or afternoon or evening kind of look, so you can use these sliders to get the expected results. So usually the first thing that I will tweak is the latitude and the longitude. So the latitude is the is responsible for the vertical positioning of the lights. So the more you change this, so it will tweak the responsible for the afternoon or evening or morning kind of look. So the more I change this, you can see here, so the more I come towards 0, so it become like a noon kind of effects, and the longitude is responsible for the horizontal rotation of the light, so the sun. So what I'll usually do is instead of doing like this, in order to get rid of the confusion, I will set everything to 0 first. So let's zero out the time zone also, and in the hour I usually start with 12, which means it is exactly, it will create us give us the noon kind of effect. So I'll increase the exposure. Maybe this is too much. Yeah, I think this is fine. So I have zeroed out everything, and I usually start from this point. So if you turn off this primary visibility, so this is not gonna be visible in our render. And when I usually work with the physical sun and sky, I usually create a sphere in my scene. So I usually create a sphere in my scene, and I will assign a PXR surface, and I will turn this into a mirror like material to get the proper reflections to judge the light. So now, as you can see here, we have now got the exact placement of the light, so we can easily judge the light, the sun, the placement of the sun. So now if I go to the PXR Environment Daylight, so now if I want the light to be so if you want to rotate the light like this, you can use the latitude and longitude settings to get the afternoon or particular timing of a day. So in order to use the latitude and longitude, I usually do I will set this 0, and I will set this also 0. So what I'll do is, we have the option to set the lighting according to the timing of the day. So currently it is in the 12th, so let's say if I want a morning kind of a look, I'll set this to 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. in the morning. So you can see this, it gives us the exact kind of a result that is looking like 7 a.m. in the morning. So maybe if I want this to be 4 o'clock in the evening, so I have to set this 16 so that I'll get the evening kind of look. And maybe you want to go for an very evening kind of a sunset kind of a look, so we can go with a 17 or 17.5 or something like that. So as you can see here, so this is how we usually get the proper timing in our PXR Env Daylight. And if you don't want to use this method, we have another option. You can control this artistically, which is if you set this month to use direction, so it is no longer available for us to get the timing from this, so it will take the direction from this little option. So if you can see here, so as you can see here, this is currently in 1, so these little guys are, this is latitude and this is longitude. Yeah, so if I change this value, so you can see here the sun is now changing its direction. So by tweaking this value as we want, we can get the proper look. So I usually don't prefer this way, so I usually go with the timing one. So this is much more precise than using the direction. And the other settings are, we have the haziness control. Okay, let me set this to 13. Okay, maybe at 10 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, so as you can see here, so we have the haziness control. So if you set the haziness to 0, so you can see here we have got so much white at the horizon, and the more you increase the haziness, so we are getting less white kind of atmosphere in the horizon, but we are getting more white around our sun. So if you look at this, the more you increase the haziness, we are getting more light, more this gradient around our sun. So so it depends on the look that we want to achieve. So so it is a very useful one, the haziness. So then we have the sun tint and we have the sky tint. So if you want to tint your sun, so you can kind of use this. Maybe we can use a subtle value. So if you want to create kind of a stylized look, so you can go for this. And we have the sun size. Maybe let's say if you want the shadows to be a little softer, so you can use this sun size. As you can see here, now the shadows are become softer. So if you want a kind of a match or overcasting light kind of a look, so you can use this. And let's reset this. Maybe we can give a subtle value, maybe a 3 or 4. So yes, okay. So and then so we have the time zone. So the time zone is the overall multiplier of the offset of the sun. So in the ground mode, we have two different options. So horizon clamping is the first one. So it usually kind of, if you look at this, if you look at this sphere, so you can see here we have got some black patches. So this will usually cut down that, so it usually creates an infinite plane to avoid that, and we can get the proper bounces. And then so we have another option, which is diffuse ground. So if you want to change the ground color, you can use this diffuse ground. So here is the ground color option for us. If I change this to kind of a any brown or kind of color, so you will get this kind of a ground color. So you can use this to get the ground color. So I usually prefer horizon clamping. So if you want, you can create a kind of a library of lights from this. You can get a lot of presets using this preset button. So I usually set noon presets to start with, to get started with. So yeah, to get the to get it saved to the preset, we have to, maybe let's set this to a morning kind of a look. So let's say if I want to save this into the preset, so we have to click this little button and it'll give you this window, so you can rename this, let's say a morning light. And once you save this, so if you go here now, you can see here you can get your presets available. When you select replace all, you can see here our presets are directly applied to the light. So this will be very helpful. So I usually don't rotate the light using this latitude and longitude. So this is a little tedious. So once I'm happy with the position of my light, and I will go to the actual transform of the light and I will rotate it accordingly. So maybe let's increase the exposure. So yeah, that's it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching.